Hi, today I'm here with attorney Stephen Jessup, and we're going to talk a little bit about some recent trends of what we've been seeing with Lincoln Financial Group, also known as Lincoln National Life Insurance Company. And back probably in 2006, I think it was, they acquired Jefferson Pilot. Well, there was Jefferson Pilot Group or Jefferson Pilot Insurance Company, and Jefferson Pilot had written a lot of insurance companies. So you may have an old Jefferson Pilot policy and you got notice that it was changed to Lincoln Financial, or you had a Lincoln National and they changed it over to brand it to Lincoln Financial. So those are some of the
nuances.
Getting the nuances of the naming out of the way. So what are you seeing in terms of, I know there's some different things. Most of the Lincoln policies we see are ERISA governed policies, ERISA. Sometimes they have an individual group, but in the ERISA claims that you handle, what's unique about their policies?
I think one of the biggest is that they have a mandatory second level of appeal. So if you're denied following the first appeal, they do require a second before you can bring lawsuit, and they really shorten that time frame to only 60 days on the second appeal. A lot of companies will give you voluntary levels. They're one of the only ones you see where there is that mandatory extra level of review.
And it's required to do two appeals? Okay, so that's kind of good and bad. Good in the sense that maybe you have the opportunity to submit additional information and build the administrative record better, because somebody could call us and say, hey, I got denied, I did the appeal on my own, and now what can I do? And then we have the opportunity to do another appeal. Not that I'd recommend they ever do their own appeal by themselves, so that could be a good thing, you know, that you have that opportunity to. But it could also be a bad thing because now the company is giving themselves another opportunity to try to correct whatever mistake they made beforehand.
Well, not only that, but if you fail to get the second one in on time, then there's a question as to whether or not you satisfied the remedies to even file a lawsuit.
So what would happen if you didn't file the second appeal timely?
I think arguably they could, argue that you didn't, exhaust your administrative remedies to be able to bring a lawsuit at that point.
Okay. One of the things about Lincoln Financial, some of these policies have these self-reported pain limitations in them. Do you find that in many of the Lincoln policies that you've reviewed?
I don't see that language nearly as much. It's almost like they're behind the times a bit when it comes to that. I mean, the standard mental health claims are going to be limited to 24 months. That's almost across the board now, but you don't see as many of the limitations that you see in other insurance company products.
Right. One of the things I found, I think we've had a lot of great success on the appeals for Lincoln Financial. I find that once you do submit an appeal, they tend to really want to review the claim appropriately.
Yeah.
Many claims will just say, well, we're just going to do a file review, and they don't have anyone else look at it. Is that your experience on it?
I would agree. I think more often than not, especially at the appeal stage, your more chances are that you're going to be more successful in getting it overturned. At least a history of numbers in my experience.
And then in terms of lawsuits with them, we've had the opportunity. Most of the lawyers that they hire, because they'll hire outside lawyers outside of the company, have been very reasonable, professional, and easy to work with from my experience.
I would have to agree 100%.
Okay. And handling these cases for claimants all over the country, that's kind of been my same experience, which shows that whoever's calling the shots for them from an in-house perspective has a good understanding as to the type of defense attorney they need to hire in order to, get the case resolved. When I also think about the Lincoln claims, I think about for the ones that we help apply for benefits, which is something common, about the time frames and how long it takes them to evaluate a claim. What has been your experience in that?
Well, under the law, they have 45 days once you've submitted everything that they're going to need for review to render a decision. In the application stage, and even in the appeal stage, you usually see once they have everything, they're within that 45 days. They work very quickly to get it. Some insurance companies will request an extension, and you find out later in reviewing a claim file is because they didn't bother to have a medical review done until almost the 45th day. But Lincoln really works quickly to try to process and figure out what's going on with the claim.
Right. I think as one of the law firms in the country that probably gets contacted by the most amount of people to see if we'd be willing to assist them with their claim, Lincoln's is definitely not in the top 5 of companies that's denying claims, which is probably shows that not necessarily by volume, obviously they're not the biggest, they're not in the top 5, but in terms of when I look at the spectrum of companies that are regularly denying and look at the percentages based upon what their volume of claims is that they sell, they're not in that top 5 or even top 10 of the companies that do deny claims. So I'm not saying they don't deny claims, they do, but when they do, there's a good opportunity that you shouldn't feel that you're dead to rights and you're not going to win your appeal.
Correct.
And I think that's important because people feel desperate and hopeless once their claim's been denied, saying they're not going to have an opportunity. But you really do if it's done right.
Correct.
And this isn't the video to say how you do it and what you do. That's obviously why you hire a lawyer. But we have tons of videos on our website talking about ERISA and what you're up against if it is an ERISA claim and all the different things that need to be considered. But the easiest thing is go ahead and give myself a call Steven, call any of our disability lawyers. If you've been denied, we'll need a copy of your denial letter. We'd also want a copy of your policy, which you can just email or fax to us. And we're going to review it for you right away, set a phone conference almost within 24 hours, and let you know immediately if we can help you. We appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.